Daily Heavenly Manna, August 3rd. Separate yourselves from the people of the land. Ezra 10:11. Someone has well said, "The Christian in the world is like a ship in the ocean. The ship is safe in the ocean, so long as the ocean is not in the ship." One of the great difficulties with Christianity today is that it has admitted the strangers, the people of the land, and recognized them as Christians. It does injury not only to the Christians by lowering their standards, for the average will be considered the standard, but it also injures the strangers by causing many of them to believe themselves thoroughly safe and needing no conversion because they are outwardly respectable and perhaps frequently attendants at public worship. Reprint 2512.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to explore some really interesting ideas from source material you've shared. Today we're looking at a piece called Daily Heavenly Manna, August 3. It's short, but wow, quite thought-provoking. It starts with a biblical quote, Ezra 10:11, "Separate yourselves from the people of the land." Now, regardless of your background, our mission here is to unpack the universal ideas in this, ideas about identity, community standards, how we navigate the world. And it kicks off right away with this fantastic analogy. It says, someone has well said, "The Christian in the world is like a ship in the ocean. The ship is safe in the ocean so long as the ocean is not in the ship." Pretty clear image, isn't it?
It really is. It paints such a vivid picture. And what's so fascinating about it is how sharply it draws that line. It's about boundaries, right? Inner integrity.
Okay, so it's not about physically being separate.
Exactly. It's not about isolation. It's about preventing those, external pressures or influences from getting inside and changing your core. Think about maintaining your personal values or maybe a company's culture, even just your own mental space in this, incredibly noisy world. The danger isn't being there. It's letting it get in you. Fundamentally change who you are.
Right. Letting the ocean into the ship. That makes perfect sense. But then the commentary takes this interesting turn. It points to what it calls a major difficulty today. It says one of the big problems is that Christianity, in its context, has admitted the strangers, the people of the land, and recognized them as Christians. This idea of admitting strangers, how does that connect back to the ship analogy and those internal boundaries?
Well, yeah, that's where it gets layered. Historically, the people of the land meant non-Israelites or those with adopting foreign ways that diluted their distinct identity. Here, it seems to be used metaphorically.
For outside influences, or maybe people whose values don't quite align.
Precisely. Influences or even individuals who perhaps unintentionally could erode the group's, let's say, core identity or standards. And the text argues this causes injury. The first injury is to the existing group.
How so?
By lowering the standards. It explicitly says the average will be considered the standard. So if you connect that to the bigger picture, it's about this potential erosion of what makes a group distinct. You could apply that to almost any group, right? A professional body, a volunteer team, maybe even a family unit. If you lose sight of the defining principles, well, things can get blurry.
Okay, so that's the potential harm to the group itself, a dilution of standards. But the commentary doesn't stop there. It points out a second injury, and this one is aimed at the strangers themselves. It suggests that being admitted like this makes many of them to believe themselves thoroughly safe and needing no conversion because they are outwardly respectable and perhaps frequently attendants at public worship. That sounds unsettling.
It is unsettling. It brings up a really critical question about genuine change versus just fitting in, mere conformity. The implication is stark.
Yeah.
You can look the part, you can go through the motions, attend the meetings, whatever it might be.
But inwardly, nothing's actually changed.
Exactly. It creates a false sense of security, perhaps even a kind of self-deception. You might think you belong or that you're safe based on these external actions without any real internal transformation having taken place. It's like, mistaking the appearance for the substance.
Wow. Okay, so bringing this back to you, the listener, how do you grapple with these ideas? This short text presents a real tension, doesn't it, between being distinct, upholding standards, personal, professional, whatever, and, engaging with the world. How do you stay in the ocean without letting the ocean get in the ship? How do you avoid diluting what's core to you?
Yeah, and taking that a step further, perhaps a final thought to mull over. Considering this deep dive, how might we, maybe in our own lives or communities, inadvertently lower our own standards? Or even potentially misguide others, maybe with the best intentions, just by blurring lines that perhaps ought to be clearer.
That's definitely something to think about, the power of those internal versus external influences, no matter the context. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring.